I don't remember knowing that no one had won the all-around before. It obviously, once it happened, it was made into such a big deal of, anytime I was introduced to anything, it's the first world champion, the first world champion. I mean, I take that with the biggest amount of pride there could possibly be, because I have so many idols of gymnasts that were before me. I think having perspective now on how hard it is for all of the stars to line up for something like that to happen, I'm just very proud of that moment, of the whole atmosphere. I mean, talk about being with a team environment. I was there with my team. It felt like there were 4 of us that trained together at Crowley's, and for us to win the silver, that was our gold medal. That was such a spectacular moment in history, and certainly in our lives, and I think really changed the direction of where USA Gymnastics is, with expectation of this is possible, this is where things are going to go, and we've watched since then. Things have only shot upward. A peanut butter sandwich? Let me double check. I don't think we have any more of that turkey. And Nana said she did with the pickle. Is that what you want? You want a pickle, and you want me to wrap it in meat? Okay. That's pretty gross. So whoever's here in the morning, then the other one of us is already starting the workout. So one starts the workout and does the conditioning. We alternate who does the conditioning and who gets the kids ready. So that way we get to enjoy the morning with them, right? Go, 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 go. Go. Ready? Go. No, one here, one there. Coda. Yes. Yes, you can race, but not in the same bathroom. Go. Yes. Okay. This was my surprise this past weekend. I go out of town and Chris says, I'm busy doing projects, so I'm imagining like we should clean out the closet. Like, this is great, but I was thinking my bedroom closet, like our clothes and all the stuff that we have extra. No, I come home and we have all of the stuff all over the living room, and this is what it ends up being. So this is their secret hideaway Minecraft room. Ironically, my 4-year-old girl loves Minecraft, but to me I was thinking like, oh gosh, this totally could have been like Cabbage Patch City, and we could have done that. Like, that could have been like a bunk bed, and yeah, so now I'm like kind of jealous of them. It hurt me like to come inside, and I was like, just say something nice about the closet, because all I could think of was, where's all the stuff? We had towels in here, we had our luggage in here, and like that was the first thing that went through my mind, was like, logically, like, this is a logical space. This is not what this is for. And he's all about like, that's gonna be fun, this is gonna be so great. I mean, you should see some of the stuff he does. I go out of town and he makes a Star Wars video with the kids, I'm like, that's his personality. When I was training in Cincinnati during my last couple years of gymnastics, after the Crowleys had sold their gym, I had moved up to Cincinnati to train actually with Amanda Borden. We had a break in the calendar year between when we were touring, and we were both like, oh great, there's no way we're gonna stay in shape. I didn't have you in a club, and she was like, it's gonna be so hard. So we decided we're gonna hook together and be teammates. And I started on like that and went, well, if I'm already in the gym, I might as well train. So I started training again and had gotten injured. And as I got injured, Mary Lee said, well, why don't you go ahead and do some coaching? So I was like, well, I'll do it more to pass the time, because I wasn't able to go in the gym full time with my injury, and was surprised at how connected I was with it.
At the time, there were 3 coaches, Mary Lee, 2 other coaches, Amy Wirt, who's still there, who was my coaching partner at the time, and then there was Kim and I. So there's 5 coaches all pushing for the same position, and it was the beginning of a generation. So we knew at that time that we really had to buckle down and make a commitment. It took us 2 years. We couldn't commit to anything. We couldn't commit to the right city. We couldn't commit to the kind of program we wanted to open, the size of program we wanted to open. We just kind of looked for the perfect thing until it fell in our lap.
Push and reach. Okay, okay. Using the layout, right, not just your shoulders. Use your middle. That's better. Lifted eyes in between. That's a good rhythm. Reach and presentation back and moves. Tall shapes there. Push, push. Caroline, pinkies trying to reach together. Yes, yes, good.
No pike, push up. Straight, lower back. No pike. Push, no. Tall. I think we always wanted a big elite team in our head, but we didn't understand what that commitment would look like. We pushed off having kids for a long time. We didn't have kids till we were 30. We pushed off because we knew that we wanted to make as big an impact as we could in the business, first of all, to make sure that it was as successful as it could be so that we'd have an opportunity to go and coach elite, which is very difficult to do because it's expensive. You coach fewer kids, you're coaching more, you're gone for longer periods of time. When you have an athlete that qualifies to a major competition, it really hurts the gym, and the coach is now gone. Multiple coaches are now gone for a long period of time. We're not talking about 3 days at JO Nationals. We're talking about World Championships where you give up a month.
So what are you trying to do different there? Push the floor, lift layout from here. You're in a long angle and pulling hard. Needs to a little bit the hip rise from the floor. Square, a little pulling back there. Okay, now triple takeoff better. You're pulling from your back. Yeah. That's a good one. Don't need that one. Good, go, go, go. Oh! So Nika, these are from your shoulders again. That's what I liked about those the other day was that it was from your middle. They're turning inside, these are turning from your back. Trust correction. Again, and now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. 'Cause again, once we start pulling routines together, those are the harder time to put any kind of correction. You go, okay, I have this, I'm doing one piece at a time. I'm here just one set at a time. You know, just this pass in the routine. Try for different. Try for different. It's okay, I understand it will not feel normal.
Yeah.
Let it feel different. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Kim always tells us about that she wants to be able to know how we feel and know our thoughts on things. And I actually haven't started that till recently, where I was having trouble with gym, and it got to the point where I was like discouraged and I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. And I told her that, and she told me that she understood how that happens, and that it finally clicked in my mind that like I'm not scared to talk to her anymore, and I know that I have a strong relationship and that I can tell her anything.
I am very honest with them, with an understanding that I'm doing them a disservice if I'm not telling them what I see. At the same time, trying to remember, you know, that they are people and they are children, and you know they are going to have off days, and that's something that I feel like I've had to work on as I've, you know, gone down the coaching route. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. So can you feel? So go from here.
Kim is absolutely amazing. I don't know where I would be without her. She has taught me from day one. She knows me. She knows how to work with me. When I'm having a bad day, she knows how to kind of get me in my zone and be like, okay, you might be a little off, you didn't get enough sleep last night, or whatever the problem was, she knows how to put me back in my bubble and get me to focus. And it's the reason why I'm here. And I've been here for 12 and a half years, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. She's amazing.
Kim's not like serious. Like, she's not like, you have to do this, you have to do this. She's not like that. I think she knows it's hard to be in a gym like where you're always serious.
Kim is a very structured person. Like, she comes in here with a goal in mind, and she's determined to achieve that goal every day, and that's what I love about her. Like, she allows me to push myself further than I believed I could ever push myself.
You kidding me? I appreciate that you guys think I'm that tall, but that ain't gonna work.
Chris is awesome too. We joke a lot, and he's funny, and thinks he has a good sense of humor.
Where's Strat, Barbara? Do you do anything?
He's right there.
Right there? Well, send your butler to get it.
He's a lot different than Kim. Like, he will sit there and crack jokes with all of us.
All right, here goes the heavy lifting. Make it easy on me. Good morning, Emma.
My first day here, he's like, "You're too short, you can't do this." And I was like, okay. But then I started getting it now. He was doing sarcasm and stuff.
Are you the headliner for a SeaWorld show? I'm gonna throw you a fish every time you do a vault like that. Deal? No, I think you're gonna get this eventually. But what, in about 3 or 4 or 5 more years, you're gonna get this? 6? It's gonna take more than 6? Less than 6? 5.5? Well, how much more am I gonna have to spot? A few more weeks? Oh, God. Come here, I wanna give you a neck massage. Will not end well. Better try, better try. It's still wanting to go from your back though. Make sure it's tighter stomach. Back handspring, tighter stomach. That feels the same as your SeaWorld thing? Huh? That feels the same? You told me it felt the same. Yeah, you did. You said that felt right. Because you hadn't done the right one? Welcome back to Vault. I think Kim's coaching style, it certainly differs from mine. It's ironic that as parents, we've switched the roles. She's in the gym very stern, and this is the way it is, and this is the tradition, this is how we do things. It has to be a specific way. It has to be perfectly executed. And then she comes home and she's mom, and she's laid back and she's relaxed, and she lets the kids do, this, and it's not that big a deal. And when I'm at the gym, I'm kind of that. We're doing some numbers and we're training hard and spotting and we're going, and it's a little more lighthearted, and we'll snap our fingers when we need to. But then when I come home, I'm exactly the opposite. Everything has to be there. The boys have to be in line. The ribbon has to be in line. We're on edge. And I feel like it's like that because it's a balance between us. Because I think if we were both that way, it'd be too much. So I think that we balance that out certainly between each other, and and it works. And I think it has just evolved over time that she fills in those gaps of where, I'm a little more relaxed. She feels like she has to be a little more tense, and similarly at home.
Number one, Chris keeps me in a very good place. His general ability to pull back and be able to watch kind of the overall and be calm versus I feel like I'm a lot more zeroed in with that's where we're going and that's what we need, and he can kind of watch the overall and the environment. That is a way that he definitely balances me out. Actual coaching things, I love coaching for events. Like, I love every piece of it. I like all of the events. I like conditioning. I like flexibility. I like the dance part. I want to be somewhere included in all of that. For Chris, he is very specific on what he is. He's like, I am there for bars. I am there for vaults, and I will do anything that you need me to do over at floor, but it is yours. And I've so many times I'm like, come over, do more with this, come over. And he's like, that is yours and you have it, and I don't need to be a part of it.
You have to feel jump to tighter turnover. If it's not flipping, you can't add 1.5 toes to it.
Chris and I have definitely taken a lot of what we learned, what was normal for me growing up, for Chris as he came in as a coach from Crowley's, but we are certainly not, Chris and I are not Marta and Bella. I mean, we don't have their background, we don't have their history, so the environment I think is lighter than what it was for me growing up. Every once in a while we'd stand on the chalk tray and we wouldn't, the expectation was to not be talking, and so we would start talking without moving our lips, and Bella actually in recent years was like, I know I used to always hear sounds coming from that bowl, and I'd look at you guys and nobody was moving their mouths, so he thought he was hearing things. The environment is a little bit different, and right now it's been a matter of them understanding the line of we can keep things playful, we want to be happy. I continue to do this after all of these years because I love doing it, and I want you guys to love doing it, and there should be a natural, time in it to be happy and laugh and tell this funny story, but if there's not an understanding how to quickly zone back in and like you're doing big things, you have to concentrate, then it wouldn't be possible.
Chris always gives this lecture that if you were jogging around a track, you'd have a longer time than if you were jogging with a group, because the group helps you want to go faster, and so someone will go faster and then you want to go faster, and so as a whole you're all getting better instead of you just running by yourself.
We're a very fortunate group of people because we're allowed to like look over our shoulder and see like, oh, that's my competition. Instead of like having to Google something and be like, okay, I need to do this. We're able to just look around and be like, wow, there's a lot of good gymnastics and we need to push ourselves harder so we can be like that or even greater.
Well, we push each other in a good way. As friends, we always have that like competitiveness in us, so we're always going to be like, well, if you can do this, I can do this, and we're always competitive with each other, but we're doing it to help each other. When I was learning my Tkachev, Ashton has a great Tkachev, and so Chris was like, well, Ashton can do it, why can't you? And so I was like, oh, so we got really competitive with each other. And then he's like, well, who can catch it first? I bet you can. And so we were all of us were like, no, I can do it first. And that kind of helped us in kind of a competitive way. So. And then what happened with that? Did you catch it? I caught it, yeah.
All the way through, then come across like Emma does. You don't like that? That's not an insult. Don't be competitive. It's fine. Don't be. Just stand there and watch Emma.
I can't.
You can do it. Emma, will you show her a good one so she can learn from you, please?
Stop.
Good. I mean, not Emma better, but better.
We've been working on inside stallers on bars and stuff, and like this little tiny girl, Emma, is like amazing at them. And he's like, oh, Bailey, look at that. Look how good Emma is on those and stuff. It's funny. Makes you kind of mad a little bit. A little fire.
Uh-oh. You know what happens every time you do that? Reagan gets confidence, right? If you do that, then Reagan feels good. Do we want that? Is that what we're here to do? No. The competition aspect of our program in particular has been something that I don't know how much Kim pushes it, but I do know that for me, competing against someone and seeing somebody across the gym doing something better, that has an impact. The theory is, if you have that fire inside you, that competitive spirit, then all I have to do is teach one Tkachev. The other 5 will learn it that day. You just got to get the first kid to do it. And once the first kid does it, the other 5 say, I'm not going to let that kid do it and not me.
Even Bailey can look around and you can look to several different kids and say, she does that better, she does that part better, I'm best at this. That is such a valuable tool to have on a day-to-day basis. It was like that for me growing up. I will always miss being a gymnast. I loved it. I never got tired of wake up, do gymnastics, go home, do school, do gymnastics. Like, I never got tired of it. We did the exact same rotations for as many years as I can remember. I think if I had the opportunity to do one thing again, it would be to get to perform a floor routine and get to do a double layout again. Like, that feeling still burns very bright to me. I don't know that that will ever go away, but I can sincerely say that this is more interesting to me. I love the coaching. I love the puzzle of it. It's so many different parts of trying to read their personality, read how they feel, try to find that person's personal style, try to make this person's personal style develop forward and upward. These are friendships that these girls are making that will be a lifetime. They will be a lifetime, and they're doing things that are so abnormal and to such a high level that there's a bond that is like no other.